It really feels like the years are going by faster as time moves forward. I can tell you that it's not because I'm having fun. This year has not been very fun for me due to the depression demons in my head. But I digress. It's time to talk about one wacky-ass year full of laughs, cries, and people not caring to watch my videos. I apologize ahead of time for the quality of this one, by the way. I just finished a super long story that was very taxing on my brain. So you'll have to forgive me for the organization of this video, or perhaps the lack thereof. So sit down, shut up, and enjoy me talking about how much of this year was good and how much of the year sucked. Here's 2022 in review. Remember when the world was essentially shut down for 2 years and we just now started everything up again? Well, that's why I was able to go to a convention for the first time in 2 years with Hierophant. We enjoyed Comic-Con in Birmingham, Alabama, and I got to meet some cool people there. We got to suck at a ramen eating contest, play games in the arcade, meet some of our favorite creators and voices from various media, buy lots of cool stuff from the vendors hall, and just have a fun, silly time. I'd say the highlight of this trip, though, was the Maid Cafe, which Nate actually made me go to this time. Funny how they had 3 maids on duty, and we ended up getting the single butler. Not that I'm mad, though. He was cool and fun. We played some hands of Uno, which I won one of, and a colorful Jenga-like game, which Nate lost. And I even got a commemorative Polaroid photo with the cutest maid there. Do not judge me. Twin tails are infallible. The only parts that weren't fun were how much money we spent, and the shipping hell I went through to get back my forgotten Miku doll, and the fact I got sick for a few days afterward. It was great aside from that. Work is essentially the same as it was last year. Nothing too worth sharing. Our new ownership is working well. We still don't have the dishwasher we were promised months ago. I find myself more and more tired and not wanting to come in every day. Actually, I guess that doesn't sound too good. Well, if I know anything, hopefully I won't have to worry about being in the job for the entirety of next year. Wink, wink. The rest of the Chaos Guild and I had a few fun meetups for our birthdays this year. For Azura, we went bowling, played pool, went to a ramen restaurant, in which I finally put together that I don't like consuming hot liquids, and got him a Kogami-themed cake. And yes, he hated it. So do you hate it? Please tell me you hate it.
That is such a weird thing to say. Well, do you hate it? A little bit.
I was hoping for like a thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
By the way, those are mine. I want those back.
No.
For Hierophant and I, we played lots of games, saw the new Dragon Ball movie, and had a one-shot D&D session where I played a sorcerer inspired by Jebel from Deltarune. It was about as chaotic as you think it would be. And then, for Cammie's birthday, we rented an Airbnb to get away from the people in her house for a few days, and they decided to come and visit us, which killed half the purpose of the rent. I ruined an attempted recording of a game after I realized I wasn't having fun playing. We went to a popular ramen restaurant in which I didn't eat anything since I realized this year that I don't enjoy consuming hot liquids. Watched pilots and movies we all picked out to show each other, prevented Michael from becoming the new pope. Don't ask. Played mini golf where I also got to hold an alligator. I had liquid come out of my butt when I thought it was gas on the morning before we left. And we finished it all off by going to Fazoli's. It was really fun aside from that one part. So if you watched my personal podcast, you may recall how I talked about how I had VIP tickets for a concert. You may also recall how if I couldn't find a suitable partner to take with me, I'd have to take my brother-in-law, Hierophant, instead. You can probably see where I'm going with this. I don't have an issue with him personally, but it would have been more preferable to have a cute girl with me instead. But that isn't a huge concern when you get to go visit Weird Al Yankovic. Yep, Hierophant and I had a blast at this event, and we even got a picture and autograph poster with the man himself. How wonderful. This year also marks the start of the new Discord server of Chaos Maelstrom and affiliates, Chaos Command. It took off fairly well, but it's still nowhere near the size I would like it to eventually become. I'm looking for more suggestions on what I can use it for, aside from being a hub for content creators and an announcement channel. Higher Fate is actively sharing his recipes and creations in Chaos Cantina, but we're very quiet elsewhere. I'm also getting into streaming now, so expect that in our community every now and then. We'd love to hear your ideas for what else we can do, so come join if you haven't already, and have some fun. A lot of my slow progress through much of the year could also be chalked up to the fact that I had to move again to a new house. It was a big hassle for the few days it took, but at least we shouldn't be going anywhere for a while. My short, less than 5-minute drive to work I usually take was lengthened to more than double though, so that's a headache and a half. It's also a blessing and a curse that I'm being forced to give my living space a deep clean every month, so dealing with that is also a thing I've got to do now. For the gaming scene, I've been invested in games for a more mature audience for quite some time. I won't deny I might have become addicted, but at least I haven't abandoned my other games and livelihoods entirely. For example, I've enjoyed several new experiences with games in the form of Subnautica, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, Shantae, Bioshock, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Deltarune, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and more that I can't think of at the moment. I also finished 2 Let's Plays this year, 4 if you count the individual games of the Dreamland Trilogy. That's a far cry from the 0 I completed last year, wouldn't you agree? And on one more fun note for the end of the year, I got a MetaQuest 2 headset for VR experiences. So we now have that to look forward to in the future. Well, mostly me, but you know. Finally, let's end on a mostly positive note and talk about people I'm connected with to on a personal level, my family. Sadly, we lost a dear household family member in the form of Zero, our eldest cat. She was more of Hierophant's cat than mine, so he took it especially rough. But she lived a nice, long, and happy life and is in a much better place now. And where old life ends, new life begins. I became an uncle this year, and I'm typing this while looking at my adorable little nephew, Henry. I spent this holiday welcoming him to the world, and I can't wait to watch him grow. Speaking of my family, I was honestly surprised by myself this holiday. I feel like I connected with my extended family quite a bit more, something I normally feel I can't do at all. I hope I can learn to open up and be a better person by continuing to strive to better myself. On the note of connecting with others, let's talk about 2023. Instead of a resolution, I want to have a theme for the coming year. And that theme is going to be becoming noticed and breaking out of my shell. I've shared the fact many times, but I'll say again that I'm a very introverted person who is also on the autism spectrum. So I'm a person who likes to keep to myself and avoid confrontations of any kind. The idea of meeting people by letting my guard down and talking to strangers sounds like a terrifying and impossible task, but I want to be able to do at least something along those lines. I want to start by interacting with online groups for aspiring voice actors and content creators, which will also increase my influence and reach. 2 birds with 1 stone. Also, I really think it would help to have a romantic partner that inspires me to do things I normally wouldn't do. So I'm looking to meet cute overseas women and possibly arrange a marriage. I've given the women living in this general area of the country more than enough chances and wasted far too much of my time trying to seriously find someone. So I'm going to start looking very far away, where hopefully people actually take things seriously. And of course, I'll keep up with providing fun content for everyone to the best of my ability on both my personal and group channel. But I could get content out much faster if I could find someone to help me edit footage. Hint, hint, hint. Well, that's everything I feel needs to be addressed. I hope and pray that doing more bold things in the future will give me a vision for the happy, fun, and love-filled life I desire and am well overdue for. Happy New Year to all of y'alls, and here's to hoping I won't have to spend another New Year's Eve by myself ever again. Also, take it easy on the alcohol, guys. Party well and all, but remember you can do some surprisingly stupid things that could bother everyone around you if you get too hammered. Laters!